Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny
and Erin.
So, season 4, episode 2 of Stranger Things. It's called Vecna's Curse.
Is that the D&D monster that they...
It was, which makes me think that what we called the Ick Man, we should be calling Vecna.
No, I'm going to call him Ick Man. A woman. Ick person.
Yeah, to be fair, we didn't check what was going on. So, we hope that dies for what it did to poor Chrissy.
Yeah.
Yet, they led us to believe that Elle killed all those children, and we're like, oh no, Elle's fine.
I mean, I didn't say she was fine. To be fair, I did say, I wonder if she's going to turn out to be the villain.
Yeah.
And then Mike at the very end is going to have to decide whether he kills her or not.
No, maybe. Yeah, anyway, so I think it's supposed to be called Vecna. Because it started off like with the Demogorgon and Demodogs.
Ick.
Sorry if you hear noises during the episode, but we're binging. We need to eat. We have snacks. So not much to say because we just watched the first one.
Yeah.
And we had a lot to say on that.
When don't we have a lot to say?
So please remember to like the video, comment down below.
We don't know what yet.
We don't know what yet.
You'll know.
Yeah. We'll ask questions during, I'm sure, and then we'll want answered or not. Rhetorical questions. This is such a professional channel. We're so good at this.
Yeah. But I wonder if you do go back to when we watched season 1. Wonder if you can see a difference in us now.
Maybe.
We got some lights.
And subscribe to the channel if you're not, to keep up with our Stranger Things season 4 journey. Erin's journey from seasons 1 through 3 are up, and season 4 will be available over on Patreon sooner than it is on YouTube, and as full-length reactions. Yeah, head over there if you want to watch those. And let's watch this episode. Oh, we're going to see his story.
Oh.
How he got to Russia.
I thought they would have done like an episode 3 for him.
So they must have just taken him and run?
Maybe. I mean, he was in the uniform.
I used to have this as my ringtone, but I wouldn't answer my phone.
It's in
so
layers,
just like,
isn't it?
I could hear this as a club remix and be like...
We caught a body over here at the Munson's trailer. I don't even know how to describe it. I've never seen anything like it. Look, I need you down here ASAP to tell me what the hell I'm looking at, or how someone can even do something like this.
Do you reckon it's like the FBI? It's called them.
But we saw people listening to phone calls before, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. No, I mean them. I mean who he called.
Yeah.
So I kind of did like a 70-30 split kind of thing. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I think that's just that kind of I'm grown up. I don't like hug.
It's nothing. It's just this painting I've been working on. Cool.
Man.
You don't think it's Mike he
Oh,
likes?
good, Mike. This is my friend Durga.
Oh.
Hey. Cunningham? You sure it was Chrissy?
Yes, she was in her
I like that she's gone to someone.
Yeah.
When I saw her with Eddie. And his name's not in the news yet or anything, but I guarantee you Eddie is suspect number 1 right now.
That's crazy. Eddie didn't do this. No way. No way.
Well, we can't rule it out.
Yes, we can.
Justin!
You don't know him like I do, Max. It was nice to us.
Again,
No one
I understand the
said
loyalty of I know
Yeah.
him, but I understand her kind of being like, actually,
Yeah,
let's.
he's like a super nice guy, but then he's murdering women on the
She
weekend.
was saying Eddie is like Ted Bundy.
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying
Ted Bundy
we
reference.
can't presume
Yeah.
anything, okay? But it doesn't look good.
Max
for
would be one of us.
She would. She'd be our cool leader.
She's referencing Ted Bundy. I mean,
Why haven't you told the cops this?
After I saw Eddie and Chrissy go in the trailer, something else happened.
The lights. And of course they won't connect that the way that she does.
Oh god, how terrified would you be?
Eddie always drives like a maniac, and the power goes off in the police all the time. It's a piece of shit.
You know.
It brought back memories.
I started to think back, and
Shit. Rusty, where are you going? Your friend. You heard the news, it's no thing. Good point, we'll be extra careful next time.
I like how she did say she couldn't get hold of Lucas or anyone, so it's not like she wouldn't have gone to them as well.
No, in a bad one at that. There's no proof of life here.
yes, there is. It's signed Enzo. So
That was the restaurant.
Two people who knew about our date at Enzo's, and that's me and Hop.
Ah.
So whoever wrote this, Hop trusted enough to make him sign it
Oh, I've
Enzo.
got the goosey bumps.
Sending me a message.
It's a theory.
I prefer mine.
So
Joyce's theories are normally right.
doesn't make it right.
Oh.
This could be real.
I suppose there's only one way to find out.
What are you doing?
We're gonna call that number. And you're going to
Is that all his
find out
equipment?
Who the hell sent you that letter?
what we're doing my way.
His equipment. Although they've already got her address.
I mean,
So
yeah.
don't- but okay.
I don't like it when they have it over a drain for the blood.
Tell me.
I thought you would because you're such a clean freak.
I hate
Don't you?
anything like this.
No one.
Oh, I want to hug that boy. Bless him.
Who's been the worst treated
Yeah.
this entire time?
And he's like still lonely.
Yeah.
Especially when he said afterwards Mike was the one that was there for him. Oh no.
Guys, check it out.
What are you doing, man? Setting up base of operations.
Base of operations?
Stop, get off of that. I need it. Need it for what? Looking up Eddie's friend's phone numbers. Eddie. Your new best friend Eddie thinks cooler than me because
Oh.
Seriously?
I know you.
I don't think so.
Actually, I do know you. Your friend Benson. You killed that kid last year.
What?
What?
That ugly scar on your face. It's from that crash.
Do you think he's going with?
That one ran all the way home instead of calling us. You're a murderer is what you are.
Oh, you can see the things coming.
Murderer. Murderer. Right there?
What?
Said you were right, kid. You're looking a little peaked.
He got an acceptance letter. I bet it's in the other side of the country.
What's that? It's an acceptance letter to an our community. But you're going to Emerson with Nancy.
No, I'm not.
She just
Oh.
doesn't know it. Wait, hold on. Why are you going there?
Oh.
I can't leave my mom and my brother to
He's using it as an
chase a dream that isn't
excuse.
mine.
You're dead, man. You are so dead.
Yeah.
Because if I told her the truth, then she'd just throw her dreams out the window to come out here and be with me. And I can't take that. Like, you know, like this huge knot of resentment would build like some cancer.
He's lived out the whole relationship in his head.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, just like
And again, he's so concerned with being there for his family, which is lovely, but
And what he just said there, he said it would be like my mum and dad. So you got to remember he's coming from a perspective of having seen just a shit relationship.
Slow motion breakup with Nancy?
yes.
No, man.
I know. I don't know what to do.
Palm tree to life. That's what you gotta do. Palm tree to life. Go. Ándale.
Really?
Ándale. Arriba. Go. Go. Back. Back of the van. Go. Got me stressed out. It's not even my girlfriend.
Oh.
What? I know she hasn't been telling you everything. What are you talking
Tell him
about?
the
She's
truth.
lying to you. Like, bullshit. No, listen to me. She's having problems here. Problems? Okay. What kind of problems?
Like, just go out in the ring and grab her first.
Stay put.
Oh!
Hey, turn it off. Sorry, I can't hear you, dude.
Oh.
I want to bring Joyce down here.
Yeah, what? Like, Joyce would just destroy them.
Wipe out.
Do they not have, like, adults that
Yeah.
work there? Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, you are now calling from Durham, North Carolina, but if this is KGB, they will still be able to trace us eventually, so keep it brief.
They sent the doll to the house.
And
I appreciate the effort, though.
Yeah. He can understand that.
I'm afraid impossible.
Why not?
Your friend is stuck. But you give me money, I'll make him unstuck. You must trust me.
Eddie Munson. He's a part of that freak devil cult Hellfire. The cops, they say Chrissy went to him to buy drugs.
Drugs? No.
That's what I said. Chrissy would never touch this shit. And they wouldn't even show her hands or face. I don't know what this freak did to Chrissy, but he did something sick. Probably sacrificed her. Turned her blood for the devil. I just say he was doing
Oh! With that.
I was gonna eat.
of cults.
Oh yeah, 'cause he knows him.
It's just a D&D club.
We don't have the staff to keep up with the big guys. And I'm just looking for something.
He's
anything
just
really
in a
about
dead
what happened.
body, like.
Yeah.
Why? As far as I can tell you, all have it figured out already.
Her tactics make me a bit
He's a
uncomfortable.
freak. He killed that girl. Isn't that about right?
Oh, he's gonna see stuff again. Do you know what vibes I'm getting?
My nephew.
It.
May look dangerous,
Oh,
but he didn't do
what
this.
horror film am I thinking of?
And just back when I was a kid, everybody knew the name Vecna. He lost his mind, killed his whole family, kids and wife, took their eyes, cut them right out.
So do you feel like it's gonna get wrapped up in this whole local legend,
Yeah, potentially.
satanic panic?
I'll be right back.
Or maybe there was something already in Hawkins and that's why it was able to open it. Because he said when he was a kid.
Yeah. Like, why Hawkins? And why so bad?
Yeah, we were led to believe it was because of Elle, because she
Yeah.
opened it. But maybe.
Because I don't think that guy was in that facility, maybe? Or a facility.
None of them have noses.
I don't like it.
You should have told me she was having trouble. Well, I didn't know they were going to be here, Mike. Yeah, but you knew that she was having trouble.
Oh, it's not his fault.
His
I didn't know
place.
she was
Yeah.
lying to you. Which is why you decided to be a douche to her all day? I wasn't being a douche. You were. You were. You were rolling your eyes. You were moping. You were barely talking. You basically sabotaged the whole thing. Well, she was lying to you, Mike. Straight to your face ever since you got here. And I've been a total third wheel all day. It's been miserable. So sorry if I wasn't smiling.
Oh, I just want to hang out with his friend.
Oh,
Well, what about us? What? You're mad that I didn't talk to you? Seems like you made it super clear that you're not interested in anything I have to say. That's just not true. You called maybe a couple times. It's been a year, Mike.
Meanwhile, Elle has like a book of letters from you. That's because she's my girlfriend, Will. And us? We're friends. We're friends. Well, we used to be best friends.
See his point that you're making no effort.
I don't know.
I mean, you don't know how much Will has been trying to call him,
Yeah.
potentially.
Even if he hasn't, I think Will's point is you've put all that effort into her.
Yeah.
Maybe he just feels like you're not putting any effort into me.
It wouldn't be so awkward if they weren't, like, living, like, together.
Yeah. And he knew how much contact she was
Yeah.
getting. I get her lying though, she just didn't want him to pity her.
And especially if he's in, like, high school with, like,
Yeah.
other cool kids.
And I think we've all done it in our teens, when you have someone on the outside and you can make out you're whoever you want to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not really going to want to say,
Actually, I don't have any friends. And,
everyone hates me.
Because you want him to view you how you want to be viewed.
You also part of it might not want you to worry.
I want you to say sorry to me. And I want you to tell my boyfriend that it was just a joke. And that we are really friends.
You'll just have to cry to your daddy instead.
Oh, what's she gonna do? Uh-oh. Oh no. This is why you probably shouldn't have your powers right now.
I'll be honest, I don't feel sorry for her at all.
I mean, how to make things go from bad to worse.
Yeah, but I don't have any sympathy for that girl.
No.
Just please don't let him beat up Steve. I don't want Steve beat up this season.
No.
What are you doing? You might be in here. Take that tarp off. You're so brave, you take the tarp off.
I do love how they bicker like siblings.
Don't worry. Steve will get it with his oar. No, you think you're being funny when you're saying, but considering the fact that everyone in this room has nearly died about 100 times personally, I don't find it funny enough.
I just said don't beat up Steve!
He looks terrified.
Yeah. You be if you've seen.
Yeah. At least, like, the right people have found her.
Yeah.
I just do think, what do you do if someone just wants to, like, now we can
Yeah.
call people.
Yeah.
And
Well, to be fair, if you called the police, yeah, I was going to say, because like, there's just been a murder there.
My friend from the car earlier, I can't find him.
What do you mean you can't find him?
He was there and then he was just gone. And did you maybe see him leave with somebody? Or
I told you kids to go home. Jesus Christ. This is Glenn. Whatever the situation is.
I mean, you would be royally pissed off, wouldn't you?
Guy's taking it seriously though.
Yeah.
She just hung there in the air, and her bones, guys, her bones started to snap.
No, I don't need to see it again.
No.
It was like there was something like inside.
This is the creepiest season, I think.
I know what to do, so.
that night, did you see
This
anything?
poor kid.
Dark particles, maybe?
Do you think it's gonna get more
It would
human,
all
like?
look like dust.
I want you to join me.
Oh, he didn't say that to her.
Oh no. We don't need to watch Aberdeen too.
Yeah, but do you think he's gonna use him?
Oh. You want to try to wake her, man?
Oh!
those are the
Yeah.
little flick plates. Do you think those arms are all the people that are feeding her?
He's not much of a looker, is Vecna.
He reminds me of like a cross between like Voldemort, that zombie from The Walking Dead that was at the bottom of that well for ages.
Oh, the well walker.
And the who's Ross McQuan's character in Marvel, the Red Skull.
Red Skull, yeah.
Those three together.
I see it.
It made me scream because just
You made me jump.
I'm so sorry. It's just, you know,
It was the one that flopped.
but I know people fall like that and they crush, but there's just something that really makes me feel so unwell about the idea of you fall and then your bones just crunch underneath you and they all jar up.
You just like crumple. Yeah, that was
the first time I've ever even screamed when I watched a horror film before.
Well, you say about horror films, I'm getting such It vibes from it. It really is.
The scariest season. I am.
That's what I mean. It's It.
I'm actually really glad I'm not watching this with Jake, my husband, because he's that person that he jumps and then his reaction makes you jump.
Yeah.
Well, and then you jump and then he jumps back.
You made me jump because
can you imagine if he... Yeah, but I never... But he's constantly like, "Ah!" all the time. Oh.
So that was a slower episode, but they tend to do that. They come big opening, then they start building.
Yeah.
I love how they have immediately connected it to the Upside Down. Just because, I say usually in these type of shows, people are like, no, it can't be. I love that because they've done it like pretty much every season.
This is our fourth rodeo.
Do you know what I mean? It's like each time it's like, no, we know what this is.
It will be so interesting to have a whole second where they're like, it's the Upside Down, but it's not.
Yeah, what if it's not?
I'm really intrigued to see what they do because they're relating it back to like this dark wizard.
They tend to pick a D&D character to kind of base it off.
Yeah. So,
because you were saying they're like under a spell because there was nothing physically there. So, I suppose. What was I going to say? I like how, because you know in every season how we end up with the groups all separate, working on different things and coming together.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where you're like, but now you would just immediately go to each other because you know. What I like about this is that because the others are in California,
they can't.
So in a way, you're getting that same thing of separation, but it's believable because, you know, the others have come together.
And they obviously can't get to Lucas yet. And like Nancy will be involved relatively soon.
Although Lucas is with the vigilante group that are looking for Eddie. If they find him with them, what is Lucas going to do? I don't feel he would attack Eddie, but again, that mob mentality, you don't know how far he would get into it.
And if he finds,
because the strength it would take to stand up to them all, do you know what I mean?
Puts himself at risk.
Yeah.
And maybe what will happen is they will see Lucas with that group looking for Eddie and then think they can't trust him.
Yeah,
and that's what will keep them separated.
Yeah, maybe.
They've got, like, in the other seasons, they had Hopper, they had Joyce,
they had the adults.
They had Murray for a bit.
Yeah.
That's it, that they're adults.
Yeah.
Now are Steve, Nancy and Robin.
Yeah. That poor kid with Nancy. Because I know they said that he killed someone. We don't know the details of that. It could have been that he thinks he did. Like, he kept saying it was an accident. You know, he may not have been at fault, but if you were the driver, even if it wasn't your fault, you would still feel the guilt.
True, but what the police officer said to him, you ran away, you didn't call us, so
he panicked and
Yeah, there's a difference between...
yeah, which is bad, but again, devil's advocate, he's young, panic, do you know what I mean? Who knows what we do in that situation? We all like to say we would do this.
Yeah.
But, you know, poor kid. They didn't deserve that though, to be fair.
No.
However, Angela, I would quite happily watch her go through that.
Whenever we sit and we watch things, I'm like, I don't condone violence.
I don't, but it
blah,
was
blah.
so satisfying to
Oh
see.
my god, I wanted to punch
Yeah.
her. I do feel really bad for the actress that played her.
Probably getting so much hate.
I know. I feel like
But you know what? That means you've done a good job.
She so spot on with your like typical mean girl, like sugar plum sweet bitch. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, my heart broke for Elle. That is so nasty.
It is like, and for so many people just to stand around and be okay with it, but then you don't want to be, as Robin said about being a pariah, do you want to be a...
Yeah, but what I don't like is that when she hit her, there were families there, adults with children, and I thought, if you're an adult and you've got children and you are watching that happen, that could be your kid. Do you know what I mean? For you to not...
So,
all one of them had to do was walk into the middle of that circle, take her hand and take her out of it. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have to confront anyone. That's all you had to do.
yeah, I would like to think if we were sat somewhere and we watched people that were obviously teenagers do something like that, I'd like to think we would at least be up and be like, the hell is going on?
No, I know I would. I've not been in that situation as an adult, but I was in that situation as a teenager with younger teenagers, and I did, because it riles me up to see that. To a group on one person, it really grates on me.
I just can't believe that no one...
But again, we are coming at it from a now point of view. In the 80s, there was probably a lot more... It's teenagers being teenagers. Everyone got a bit bullied. It's just a bit of teasing.
Yeah.
You know.
We do have to take our, like... It's time travel back. But, oh, what a...
That's what I mean. We don't condone the violence, but God, it was satisfying to hear.
And for the confidence in some respects, or the desperate naivety for Elle to go and say, like, I want you to say sorry.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell my boyfriend that we're friends and it was a joke.
Yeah, she's still trying to rescue the
Still,
situation.
like, there is no planet that you can salvage that, and her bigger concern is keeping up that appearance.
But then I was saying during, I can see why she wants to keep up that appearance, because it's that idea of, when I'm with him I don't feel like a loser, because he doesn't know about that, so he doesn't think I am. Even though we know he wouldn't view her that way anyway. We know that. We're adults. I mean, I've got a cousin, and when we were kids, he used to get bullied really badly. We lived quite a way apart. Whenever he would visit for the summer, he'd talk about he got in this fight and this happened and this happened. And I knew that wasn't true. I knew none of that was true, so I knew what was really going on. But I would just be like, oh yeah, let him have it. What difference does it make to my life? Let him think that we believe he's this important person. If that makes him feel better, do you know what I mean? Although I feel like with her and Mike, he does need to know the truth.
I've always been a little bit sceptical of Mike. I feel like I judge him quite harshly.
I'm not a big fan of Mike, but I feel like he is a very relatable, as in a normal person, a teenage boy. He's not going to do everything right. He's not a bad person.
No.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing, isn't it? I may not really particularly like him, but he's not a bad person.
No, he's not bad. He's just pretty average in... I don't mean that negatively. I just mean in his
I think
he doesn't stand out as like the glorious good.
in 3 and 4, yeah, because I think earlier on he was a really good friend to Will, and you can see
Yeah.
that loyalty in him.
It's like you can see the grumpy hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I like to think he will grow out of it and become a stand-up guy like his dad. Mike's dad's the best.
And it will be really interesting to see, because these are the kind of paths you can go down. But I can see him in the wrong environment
Being
becoming
a complete arsehole.
Yeah.
If he was with Lucas's group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was the athlete.
Yeah. I have to say, I want to scoop Will up in a hug and say, it's going to get better.
He needs a D&D group. That's what he
Yeah.
needs.
He does.
And I wonder how his relationship with Elle has been.
They have always had this connection.
But how much time have they really had to connect? They've had a connection, but it's a traumatic and a not nice connection. So now they've gone and moved away from everyone they know.
Living together.
As brother and sister, he's like sharing his mum with her. She's obviously been grieving.
Yeah.
Joyce has been grieving. So they will have a big bond over. Will, I think, is always going to feel so removed from so much stuff.
I also feel like the thing for Will this season, from what we're seeing so far, is that he looks like he's a bit disconnected from Jonathan as well. Like, Jonathan's doing his own thing with his friend, and, you know, before he didn't really have any friends.
No. Honestly,
Give the kid a break.
they better give him the happy ever after at the end of this.
Another thing, no Mike, none of this is Will's fault.
I mean, he's not going to blame his girlfriend, is he? But
See, this
so
is the thing for
complicated.
Will and Elle's relationship that will be really interesting, because in the last season he said, like, about so you could be with stupid girls, and again it's like Elle is coming between them. So for their relationship there must be so much kind of resentment, even if you know it's misplaced. You can't help but feel it.
And so every time she gets a letter, it's just another little...
Yeah, because I think that was the point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About he may not be making the effort with Mike either, but if you see Mike make the effort for someone else, then it feels like a deliberate, you're not doing it for me.
And it must be really weird to, you know, say he like calls to speak to them, talk to your girlfriend, and then can I talk to someone else? They're too close together to be able to maybe continue with separate relationships with both of them and keep them going. I think it's really difficult to keep a friendship going.
Yeah.
Because what do you maybe... Also a good point of what do you have to talk about. So maybe that's why she's saying she's got these friends and stuff, because then she's got something to talk about, and he can relate it to friends at school, and it's all very messy.
We saw Hopper's, how he got taken.
So did they go into the mall after and find him?
Well, there were obviously still Russians there that weren't in the room when it exploded. So however they escaped, they obviously found him and took him when they went.
So I'm pretty sure when we watched him die, I said, I reckon he's just jumped down from the rail bit. Was I right?
You were. It looked to me like he was trying to go for the upside down, I think.
Oh, that could be right. If I'm wrong, don't tell me I'm wrong.
Doesn't happen often, that's why you like it.
Hey, my theories are wacky. Sometimes they swing in the right direction.
To be fair, if you're going to have a wacky theory that's going to be proved right, it's probably in Stranger Things.
Yes, very true.
I love Murray's support of Joyce.
Because he wants Hopper back. Like he said, I want yours to be right.
Yeah.
Like, that's the option I want.
I like the fact that he's remaining, like... What's the word I'm looking for?
He's keeping the options open.
Yeah, he's listening to her, but he's also being... What's the right word?
Pragmatic?
Maybe, yeah. You know, like, but he's coming at it from a logic point of view. He's not letting the emotion take over, like maybe you say it is for her.
Is logic the right word to use about someone that's gotten on an aeroplane with a whole kit to make a phone call from Durham?
So they don't know where she is when they're sent into her house.
I get what you mean, but Murray logic. Because it would be so easy for him to, like, run off down that path, being the conspiracy theorist guy. So for him to be like, well, let's...
Yeah, but it could mean this. But, you know, he's trying to take the, I know this is what you want, so maybe you're only seeing the bits you want to see. He's been that person saying, actually, that could be...
There's multiple theories.
Yeah. But I love the fact that, you know, he knows from before that if Joyce is going to look into this, Joyce is going to look into this, and you're better off going with her than not.
Nancy, I appreciate that angle of let me tell your story for you properly.
Yeah. But all journalists use that.
Yes. And it just... I think it is a little uncomfortable to feel what I would say is partly her own benefit. So kind of poach at someone who has seen something horrific and is now pretty convinced that what seems to be the only family member he's got is going to get done for this thing that he doesn't think he's done. I don't know, it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But sometimes with some bits of journalism anyway, there's
a line people will cross that maybe outside of their work they wouldn't cross it morally.
Yeah. And it's really difficult between, is it that go-getter, like I'm doing this because it's what needs to be done.
Yeah. And from what we've seen so far, when Nancy has done that, it's worked out in her benefit, but for the good of everyone. Do you know what I mean? So in her head, she might be, it's always done the right thing before. So, and again, if it was someone else, we may be judging it differently, because we know it's Nancy and we know she's not out to try and sensationalise his story for her own gain and twist it. We know she's not out for that. But if it was someone we didn't know, we'd be sitting there going, nah, tell your story, yeah, okay.
But you do have to think, as a character, if she takes that, well, I'll do that because I've been right all these times before, so I can push it as far as I need to. If you take that forward in that career, especially if it gets pushes the boundaries a bit further. For someone quite young, I feel like she is pushing on them, and I wonder how far she could take that, and if she was wrong about something.
This is the thing, she is a character that, in a way, it's her strength and her downfall.
Yeah.
Her strength being that she's a go-getter and she will push and she won't let someone tell her she can't do it. But it can also be her downfall because she may do it in the wrong place and...
Well, you know, and that's exactly what her and Jonathan's argument was about before.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel very comfortable last season when she went to see the old lady as well. I say old lady, I don't know how she was, but it's good that it's worked out each time.
Yeah.
But something just tells me it's not the most comfortable of feelings. I thought Steve's face was very interesting.
Because he's pretty.
I mean, when Eddie was saying that, like, there was nothing he could see or touch. They shot to Steve, and there was some kind of recognition. I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I would have thought they'd have gone to Max, maybe.
I feel like they did go to Max as well, because I think that's what she was picking up when she said about the lights and that they've gone off before, that she was feeling something.
Or maybe it's because Steve is the more reluctant of the four to want it to be anything.
Yeah.
But if he's starting to be like, here we go.
Yeah. Or he's probably thinking, who's going to beat me up this season? Or he probably had that bit. I thought, I hope that's it.
Yeah,
that's my beating for the
enough.
season. I thought there was something else I wanted to bring up.
It's very spooky.
Yes.
I do really hope that something happened like this 40 years ago.
That's what I was going to bring up. Yes. The idea that, local legend of the killer, and again adding into that satanic panic that
we find very interesting.
Yeah. I also thought that's what it was. If they were looking at this as the most famous case of the satanic panic in small town America being the West Memphis 3, would we see the rest of the Hellfire Club get pulled into this accusation?
I think they will, because there is the picture of all of them that was burnt, and the way it was crisping, I feel like as if we stopped on the frame, probably would have been where we got to like Mike and Dustin.
Yeah.
And that's going to be
because
a real crunch point.
The vigilante group after them, do you know what I mean?
And
they walk around proudly in their t-shirts.
Yeah. And they're going to be easy to spot. And you see one, you'll lead us to the next one.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a real...
Yeah, that kind of you're guilty by association. So
Yeah.
we're going to go after you because we can't find him. Which obviously is terrible. And the vigilantism is not okay. But the boyfriend seems genuinely broken. And I think he's lashing out at the easiest target.
Yeah, how else are you?
Do you know what I mean? He looked genuinely broken by it, her death. And I feel like he needs someone to blame, and he needs someone to lash out at, and Eddie is obviously the obvious target for that in this.
Especially because the police brought Eddie up, and we don't know what else they said to them in the interview, but say someone came to you and they said, I died, and were asking questions about someone else, and then just left, like, what?
Yeah.
What do you can't just sit there. What could you do?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to get your answers? Or no, you can't just sit on that information. No.
That aside, I was going to say that it was nice to see the police officer. I can't remember his name, but he's now the sheriff or chief doing the police work. Because in the earlier seasons, obviously he was there throughout. He actually was never made out to be a bad police officer. Do you know what I mean? Because there were times when Hopper would say stuff and he'd be like, okay. Like, something didn't quite add up to him, but he wasn't going to bother Hopper with it. So it's good to see, like, him stepping up as a good police officer. Like, he's actually doing it and calling people in, being like, this ain't... Because he could have easily gone, well, he must have killed her. Is it a devil worshipper? Yeah. Done. But he hasn't. He's called in someone else because something is wrong. So that proves that he's more than just a...
So we thought FBI, but it looks like...
military.
Yeah. But would they... I can't remember what was the official line from last time.
Was it the fire?
But if people had been listening before, there might have been the concern that there was Russian involvement, or... It's very spooky because it was like bats as well, flying over what looked like a haunted house.
The house is like the house in It. And do you know what? I reckon it is all based around that, because it's the Duffer Brothers and this is what they do. And that's one thing I love about them, is that you watch them all going, oh, it's like this, it's like that, like that was like E.T., that was like the Goonies, you know, all these films you haven't seen.
I know.
But, you've seen it, so.
Yes, I have seen it.
Okay, right, let's get into the next one. I need answers.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.